Welcome back, and today we will be talking about the Scrum process. So today we will be answering the following questions. What is the Scrum process? How do you plan and track work in Scrum? How do you define a Scrum product backlog item? And what are the Scrum workflow stages? Content for the next 3 sessions will come from visualstudio.com. This is an overview for Visual Studio Team Services in TFS, and this is what the site looks like. Scrum. Defining Scrum. What is Scrum? The Scrum process supports the following work item types to plan and track work, tests, feedback, and code review. These artifacts are created when you create a team project using the Scrum process. They are based on Scrum principles and values. So I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. So these are the work item types you have within Scrum. So in the portfolio backlog, you have an epic followed by a feature. Beneath the feature, you have a product backlog item, and then underneath that product backlog item, you have a task. Also in your product backlog are bugs, and underneath the bug, you may have tasks. All of your issue tracking is done through impediments. For testing, you have a test plan. Then beneath that, you have a test suite. Then you have a test case, and within those test cases, you have share steps and share parameters. With feedback, you have a feedback request and a feedback response. With a code review, you have a code review request and a code review response. Plan and track work with Scrum. You build your project plan by creating a backlog of work items that represent the features, requirements, user stories, or other work to perform. You track bugs, tasks, and blocking issues using the bug, task, and impediment work item types. To support portfolio management teams, create features and epics to view a roll-up of their product backlog items within or across teams. So you define your stories, you will create your backlog, prioritize your backlog, estimate work, and assign work. Manage your portfolios, add epics or features. Group backlog items, manage bugs, capture bugs, triage bugs, resolve and close bugs, and also manage issues, capture issues, track dependencies, and query issues. List work items with Scrum. To list work items for a current sprint or the product backlog, use the shared queries that Scrum process provides. Well, so there's not much here. This is all that you really have. You'll see that in Agile and Scrum, you have a lot more. A Scrum backlog item. So here you have effort, business value description, and acceptance criteria. And you can see that they're over here. You have your business value, your effort, your description, and your acceptance criteria. So for the effort, you need to estimate the amount of work required to complete a PBI using any unit as measurement your team prefers. For your business value, you need to specify a number that captures the relative value of a PBI compared to other PBIs. The higher the number, the greater the business value. Description. Provide enough detail for estimating how much work will be required to implement the item. Acceptance criteria. Define what done means by describing the criteria that the team should use to verify whether the PBI or the bug fix has been fully implemented. Scrum workflow states. By updating the state, teams know which items are new, in progress, or completed. Most work item types support transition both forward and backward from each workflow state. These diagrams show the main progression and regression of states of the PBI, bug, and task work item types. So, before I told you I will talk a little bit more about this, and now I will for Scrum. So for a product backlog item, you have a new backlog item, it's in the new state. It goes to approved, then you can go back to new again. Once it's approved, then this is where the commitment is made by the team, and they're going to get started. If their work stopped, it can go back to approved. Once it's committed, the work is finished, and it goes to done. If it's not done, then you found additional work and you go back. Also, the item can be removed. For a bug, the bug is new, then it's been approved by the product owner. It's been approved. Then you made a commitment by the team, and then it's committed. The work is finished and it goes to done. And also, if you found some additional work, you can go back to committed. The work stopped, goes back to approved, and then also go back to the backlog. And also, you can remove a bug if needed. Task. Once the task is new, it becomes a to-do in the work state. So the work is started, it goes to in progress. Work is finished, it goes to done. If it's not done, then additional work is found. And if it's in progress, and then work stopped, it goes back to do, and then you can also remove the task as well. But I wouldn't remove any of these things unless you have the permissions from your Scrum Master or your product owner to do so. Scrum workflow progression. PBIs and bugs follow this typical workflow progression. The product owner creates a PBI or tester creates a new bug in the new state with the default reason new backlog item. The product owner moves the item to approved after it is sufficiently described and ready for the team to estimate their level of effort. Most of the time, items near the top of the product backlog are in the approved state, while items toward the middle and bottom are in the new state. The team updates the status to committed when they decide to complete the work during the sprint. The item is moved to the done state when the team has completed all of its associated tasks and the product owner agrees that it has been implemented according to the acceptance criteria. Well, that's all that I have for now, and thanks for watching.